How does a criminal trial actually work from start to finish? Imagine you're watching a story unfold, but this story is about real lives and real laws. Every step in a criminal trial is designed to find out what really happened and to make sure justice is served. Let's walk through how this process works from the moment charges are filed to the final verdict. It all begins when the authorities file formal charges against someone accused of a crime. Once the defendant pleads not guilty, the trial process kicks off. Before the trial starts, both sides, the defense and the prosecution, file motions. These are requests to the judge about legal issues, like whether certain evidence can be used or if the case should be dismissed. This step helps protect the defendant's rights and sets the rules for what can be presented in court. Next, if a jury is involved, the process of jury selection begins. This is called voir dire. During this phase, attorneys and the judge ask potential jurors questions to find out if they might be biased or have conflicts of interest. The goal is to pick a fair and impartial jury that will decide the case based only on the evidence presented. Once the jury is chosen, the trial officially starts with opening statements. The prosecution begins by explaining what they believe happened and what evidence they will show. Then the defense gives its opening statement, often emphasizing the presumption of innocence and pointing out weaknesses in the prosecution's case. These statements set the stage for what's to come. The core of the trial is the presentation of evidence. The prosecution presents witnesses, physical evidence, and expert opinions to prove the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense then has the chance to cross-examine these witnesses, challenging their credibility or the evidence's validity. After the prosecution rests, the defense can also present its own evidence and witnesses, like an alibi or alternative explanations. The defendant can choose to testify or remain silent, which is a constitutional right. Following the evidence, both sides give closing arguments. The prosecution summarizes why the evidence shows guilt, while the defense highlights any doubts or inconsistencies. This is their last chance to persuade the jury. The judge then gives instructions to the jury. These instructions explain the legal standards, including what constitutes reasonable doubt and the elements needed to find the defendant guilty. The jury then goes into a private room to deliberate, carefully reviewing all the evidence and instructions. After deliberation, the jury reaches a verdict. They will decide if the defendant is guilty or not guilty. If found guilty, the case moves to sentencing, where the judge determines the punishment. If not guilty, the defendant is released and the case ends. If the defendant is convicted, they can ask for a new trial or appeal the decision. During sentencing, the defense can present factors that might lead to a lighter punishment. The entire process is built to ensure fairness, protect rights, and find the truth based on the evidence and the law.